What's up, Dominators? Welcome back to the ShiHai's channel, and today I present to you my personalized Susanoo deck recipe. So, reasons why I'm doing this format is because none of my friends have Susanoo actually, like the actual physical deck, so I'm just going to do it online, non-physically, which is basically in CFA form. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I know it's not the best, I'm sorry, I really can't find anyone with a Susanoo deck or per se that wants to have a Susanoo deck. Well, now my friends really have. Almost is proxy, and since we are still in the phase of we shouldn't go out unnecessarily, I will just stay at home and just do the deck recipe online. So here's the list. Should appear right here right now. It's not the best of quality, yes I know, but I'll be running through like the cards and the skills where I run them, blah blah blah, and take note that I actually have no idea how to build this deck properly. I think that's my best build in a sense where I take most of the components of the cards that are really needed in the deck, and then I just mash them up together. And I think it consists a little bit of somewhat Anwar list as well. Anwar, if you're watching the video, you can leave in the comments section down below what's the difference between mine and yours. Alright, so first off, let's just jump right into it. We have the new VR of the set, which is VBTO8 we're talking about. VBTO8, we have Supreme Heavenly Battle Deity Susanoo. So I'm still using the app right here. If you guys don't know, you can check it out. Cardfight Vanguard database is very good. Skill, when placed, look at top 2 cards from the top. Look at top 2 cards from the top of your deck, and then review up to 1 card, and the rest you put to the top and put to the bottom. So you put 1 on top and 1 to the bottom, and then in any order, of course. And then the second skill is why this card is considered bad, or not bad or good / bad. I actually have no idea, because the deck currently is in a really weird state. I wouldn't say it's that bad. It's not really meta, but I would say if you do get it off on the first few turns, you crit your opponent to death, then yes, of course it's really strong. But once you run out of crits and triggers and all that, the deck becomes really useless. But we are digressing. Going back, act once per turn. Count +1, reveal 2 cards from top of your deck, put them into your hand, and activate all the trigger effects of your reveal card. If your soul has a grade 3, you reveal 3 instead. So it's a free +2 immediately to your hand, and you get the trigger effects if you ever do reveal the trigger from the top 2 cards. So it's very strong, and I think we're doing it on your first grade 3 turn. If you manage to soul charge a grade 3 into your soul by chance, and we should get to later how, it's really devastating. And if you check a lot of triggers, your opponents are unable to guard. Let's just say they don't have a perfect guard or a sentinel or anything, they just outright lose the game right there. It's standard, so yes, it's almost the same as Kagero, but it takes a little bit more step and thinking rather than Kagero just crit power, crit go, okay, and basically you lose the game. Moving on to the second card, let's just say we got the new Goddess of the Sun Amaterasu. This is grade 3 right here. Reasons why I run 3, it's okay. It's probably because of the first effect, which is auto. When revealed by a card effect, you bind a top card of the deck, and one of the vanguards getting 10k1 crit until end of turn. So it's good that you can get it off in the grade 2 turn, because we do have cards that scry top 3, and of course you can put it on top, and then when revealed by a card effect, like let's just see any other cards later we're going to go through, you can bind it, give your vanguard +10k1 crit, and it's already confirmed that your vanguard is going to get the crit, and then you're going to get additional power. So yeah, it's really strong, and with some cards in the deck manipulating the top card of the deck, you're guaranteed to at least check the trigger if you've seen the top 3 cards or the top card of your deck. Second skill is when it attacks Vanguard Rearguard, you discard a card from your hand, look at top 3, reveal 1 normal unit, put the rest to the hand, put the rest on top in any order as you wish. So yeah, it allows you to scry top 3, so you discard 1 card, top 3 at normal unit only, take note it's only normal unit, and the rest goes to the top of the deck. So it's pretty okay. You can scry for the triggers, you can scry for whatever any unit you want. You can draw a unit out of it, and then after that you can do whatever the hell you want after that. But basically we actually run this card because of the first skill, right? Most of the time you ideally want to reveal it by card effect, and then bind the top card that give your vanguard plus 10k on crit. Moving on to a pretty old card. We got Evil Eye Princess Urale. So reasons why we run is because of Soul Charge engine. So as I said before, you do Soul Charge with grade 3 on your first grade 3, right? It's really devastating and it's really strong. Skill is Vega. When you look at your deck by effect during your turn, you may Soul Charge 1. And when your attack hits Vanguard Circle, counter draw 2 cards. So that's pretty shit. So we're just running it because of the first skill where whenever you scry the top deck, you by effect you may Soul Charge 1. So since Susanoo takes Counter Blast and Soul Blast, and some of the cards, not most, sorry, some of the cards do take Soul, it's important to keep your Soul refreshed every turn, and this card provides a way for you to Soul Charge every turn as long as you load the top card of the deck. But using Susanoo's skill, you'll always do the top card of the deck, so it's a refund of the cost. Moving on, we have 2 Victorious Deer. So this is the finisher. Yes, it happens quite sometimes where your opponents are able to survive your first few attacks even though you're on grade 2 or whatever. Then this is where your grade 3 turn comes in, where Victorious Deer allows you to gain power and allows you to scry top 7 for 2 crits and add it to the top of your deck. Skill, once per turn, Soul Blast 2, grade 3, discard a card from your hand, load the top 7 with your 2 critical triggers, put them to the top of your deck, and 6 of your units gains 10k power at the end of turn. So you're whacking them with huge power and guaranteed 2 crits on top. Additional plus if you use Susanoo's skill already, so you can use Susanoo's skill first, and then use Deer to confirm even more trigger effects or trigger power, especially with the crits. And then after that, just proceed to beat your opponent down to death. So 2 Victorious Deer, and all these grade 3s count, you see, right, it's quite high in terms of OTT decks, 11, but you do have grade 3 searches, and Amaterasu is just there to bind in case you actually reveal it by a card effect or whatever. So it's really good. I think that's a balanced amount, and if I'm not wrong, that's what Unwind is running as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, moving on to the grade 2s, we have 11 grade 2s. Skill of the first one, we have the new grade 2, which is Divina Kuroi Kazuchi. It's a double rare. I've only run 3 copies of this because I think the other 2 grade 2s are important and you need to run a 4 of. Technically, Promise Daughter is not really that important, but it's good beat stick, I guess. It's a good grade 2 turn to rush and crush. Alright, going back to the unit that we're talking about. X Vanguard Rearguard, once per turn, Soul Blast 1, discard a card from your hand, reveal the top card, put it into your hand, and activate all the trigger effects of the revealed card. It will reveal a normal unit, this unit gains plus 6k at the end of turn. So it's good in terms of you get the trigger unit effect if you reveal a trigger, of course. But then if you reveal a normal unit, it gains the additional 6k, so it's a 15k beat stick, so I guess it's fine. Sometimes you might want to, throw away some cards that you don't really need in your hand in order for you to, scry the top card or like get your pieces out like Victorious Deer or whatever. And then you want to use skill and you can discard Quick Shield for a 3+ immediately to your hand. And if it's trigger, good for you. If it's a normal unit, it gains power instead. So it's a free win-win in a sense. Even though it's not really a plus because it nets you the card you're discarding, but it activates the trigger effect in advance, and you get another chance to get the trigger when you do your drive check. So it applies the pressure there. Moving on, we got a pretty old card, Promise Daughter. Let's just go through that first. It's a 4-off. I would say it's pretty 4-offy because it's unable to retire by card effects, and most of the time, if you think about it, decks like Kagero or any other retiring deck is unable to touch it because of the second skill. So first skill is during the battle that attack Vanguard, if the number of cards in your hand is 4 or more, you gain 6k, so it's a 15k attacker. It's almost the same thing as the unit that we mentioned like a few seconds ago. But that has a cost. This is free as long as you got 4 cards in your hand, which you should most of the time. Susanoo already gives you 2. And then, probably have some hand size in the later game depending on which opponent you're going to. But in the early game, you should have at least 4. And then the second skill is Continuous Rearguard Guardian Circle. This unit cannot be retired due to your opponent's card effects, but it can be chosen. So it can be bound, but cannot be retired. So take note about that. And it's really good against decks that can retire, like Kagero, maybe Blaster Blade, MLB, or Blaster Dark if you're running in MLB decks. So yeah, it's a really good card to have, and it's a free 15k beat stick and I think it's one of the best grade 2 turns you're gonna have. So yeah. Other than that, we got a Sapient Angel. So this card is common, surprisingly. But it only works on the rare guard, of course. That's why it's not really high rarity. It's double rare, triple rare, probably V/R. Skill when placed, look at top 3 cards of the deck and arrange them in any order. So pretty simple skill, and it helps you to scry the top 3 cards and plan for your future turns, or when your opponent's taking a turn or whatever. And I'll scry for triggers as well. So it's really good to have in deck, and I think it's pretty important because in the early game when you grade 2 turn, you're rushing with Promised Daughter, with the card I just mentioned just now, which is Kuroi Kazuchi, whatever. And this card enables you to scry the top 3 of the deck for triggers or whatever card that you may need in the later turns, so that you're able to predict in the future, in a sense. That's what OTT does. Moving on to the grade 1s, I think it's pretty simple. Grade 1s we run 11 as well, so 11 grade 2s, 11 grade 1s, and 11 grade 3s, is it? Yeah, I think that's about it. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, sorry, 11 grade 3s, yeah. So 11, 11, 33 total, and then 17 plus starter, yeah, that's basically it. So we got the new grade 1 structure, Divine Sword Ame-no-Murakumo. Is that really? Okay, whatever. According to the app, is some Murakumo shit, so whatever. Continue Vanguard Circle, Vanguard Circle during your turn. If you reveal cards from your deck by a card's ability using against 5k, 13k booster, you obviously do reveal cards from your deck because it's Susanoo skill. Second skill, Vanguard when placed top 5, add 1 grade 3. If you add that, discard card. Pretty simple. We're not going to get into that. Moving on, we have old card as well, Tetramegas. So Tetramegas is always a good blast, and especially if you've got a lot of triggers in hand, you want to refund back the crit that you're going to check. Tetramegas is always there. So Vanguard Circle when placed, if Vanguard's a good trigger, count +1, draw a card, reveal 1 crit, put it top of the deck. So you can use it and then use Susanoo skill to reveal the crit, and Susanoo skill whenever you reveal a trigger, you add the trigger power to whatever units you want to add. So it's really good, good combo with Susanoo. And last but not least, we got a promo. This 3 off, I think it's really good because it's a free 18k booster. So auto once per turn, when your drive check reveals a trigger unit, you may have this unit plus 10k at the end of turn. So it's an 18k booster, and if you're boosting Vanguard and you're gonna check a trigger, because you reveal a trigger to your opponent will have to think twice about guarding their 2 pass might become a 1 pass, because it's an auto skill. When checked, you gain 10k, so the boosting still counts into the power, and makes your opponent think a little bit more and big brain. So yeah, that's about it for the deck. Triggers wise, I run 12 crits, including the Sentinel, 30k shield crits, and 4 heals. So 12 crit, 4 heals. You don't need draws, because this deck kind of draws a lot. Once you ride up to grade 3, every turn you are at least drawing 5 if you're grade 3 so, because Susanoo skills really draws you 3, and then drive check draws you 2, and then other card effects will draw you 1, probably, depends. Most of them are net, like Amaterasu and Kuroi Kazuchi, but the basis of it is to check triggers in the grade 2 turn and the grade 3 turn, and then try to end your opponent off during your second grade 3 ride, so that you get 3 cards in so you can scry top 3 instead of top 2. And even if you are unable to end your opponent off, you'll dig for your your deer, Victorious Deer, and then Sobas 2 grade 3, do all the bullshit, put 2 crits on top, and from there you get the idea. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys like this. Haven't done this in a while, ever since Circuit Breaker kind of stopped, but I won't be doing this for DP, by the way, because I do have DP players. It's just for OTT it's a bit hard to find, so I do this online instead of having the physical cards in check. And I'm too lazy to proxy and print them, so there you have it. This is the laziness of VGCI. So thank you very much for watching. Oh, by the way, if you want to answer your questions, some guys asked, or some of you asked, sorry, whether I'll be doing for Bang Dream, deck recipes or deck fights. I will be doing only one, I think, which is Afterglow, because I can't seem to find anybody that has Razor Sullen or whatever other deck like Rosella and all that. There's 6 archetypes, I know, but Yeah, they're all pretty bad, not gonna lie. Their skills are very mediocre-ish and not really good, so most of us didn't really get it. Only hardcore Bang Dream fans would get it probably. So yeah, I have a friend, Matthew, that has Afterglow, and Afterglow is a really good band as well. It's an interesting deck based on the number of Resurrect cards, and then you stand them during your battle phase and all that. So yeah, I'll be featuring that really soon. So thank you much for watching. Hope you guys liked it. This is ShiHai, and I'm out. Peace.